Tim Walz, a name now synonymous with progressive politics, started his journey in the heartland of America. Born and raised in Nebraska, Walz's early life was steeped in Midwestern values. He later moved to Minnesota, becoming a familiar face in the classroom as a high school geography teacher and football coach. His entry into politics was marked by moderation. He ran for Congress in 2006, positioning himself as a moderate Democrat. Walz connected with voters, securing a seat in a traditionally conservative district. During his time in Congress, Walz often walked a tightrope. He sought common ground on issues like veterans affairs, a cause close to his heart after serving 24 years in the Army National Guard. However, he also found himself at odds with his own party at times, particularly on issues like gun control. This balancing act painted a picture of a politician navigating the complexities of representing a diverse constituency. The year 2018 marked a turning point for Walz. He set his sights on the Minnesota governorship, running on a platform that signaled a shift to the left. This move wasn't entirely out of the blue. Walz, during his later years in Congress, had become increasingly vocal in his support for progressive causes. He championed issues like LGBTQ+ rights and affordable health care, signaling a departure from his earlier, more cautious approach. This shift was partly a reflection of the changing political landscape. The Democratic Party nationwide was undergoing a progressive resurgence. Figures like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren had energized the base, pushing the party to embrace bolder policies. Walz, it seemed, was riding this wave, recognizing the need to adapt to the evolving demands of his party and the electorate. And Minnesota, once considered a reliably blue state, had become a battleground. The rise of Donald Trump and the Republican Party's embrace of populism had exposed a deep political divide, even in a state known for its civic engagement. This shift was particularly evident in rural areas where economic anxieties and cultural shifts fueled a sense of alienation from the Democratic Party. Walz's decision to embrace a more progressive agenda was a calculated risk. On the one hand, it energized the Democratic base, particularly in the Twin Cities metro area. However, it also risked alienating moderate voters, particularly in rural communities where his earlier message of centrism had resonated. The 2018 election would be a test of whether Walz could bridge this divide and unite a state grappling with its own identity. Section 4. Championing Change, Walz's Progressive Policies. Upon assuming office, Governor Walz wasted no time in enacting his progressive agenda. He tackled issues with a sense of urgency, signing into law several key pieces of legislation. One of his first acts was to strengthen protections for LGBTQ+ individuals, expanding anti-discrimination laws and promoting inclusivity in state agencies. This move was hailed by advocates as a major step forward for equality. Walz also made significant strides in healthcare, expanding access to affordable care through the state's MNsure program. He fought to lower prescription drug costs and increase funding for mental health services. These actions solidified his image as a champion for working families and those struggling to afford basic health care. Section 5. Praise and pushback reactions to a shifting agenda. Walz's progressive policies were met with both praise and pushback. His supporters, energized by his bold agenda, applauded his commitment to social justice and economic equality. They saw him as a refreshing change from the cautious approach of previous administrations, a leader willing to tackle tough issues head-on. However, his critics, particularly those on the right, accused him of pushing a radical agenda out of touch with the values of many Minnesotans. They argued that his policies were too expensive, burdening taxpayers and driving businesses away from the state. The debate over Walz's policies became a microcosm of the larger national conversation about the direction of the Democratic Party. Section 6. From St. Paul to Washington, Walz on the national stage. Tim Walz's political journey, from moderate congressman to progressive governor, is a testament to the evolving nature of American politics. His story highlights the delicate balancing act facing Democrats as they navigate a changing electorate, seeking to bridge the divide between urban and rural, progressive and moderate. His selection as Kamala Harris's running mate in the 2024 presidential election thrust him onto the national stage. This move signaled a recognition of his growing influence within the Democratic Party. It also reflected the party's desire to appeal to a broader coalition of voters, combining Harris's progressive credentials with Walz's Midwestern appeal. Whether this strategy will prove successful remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: Tim Walz's journey is far from over. His impact on Minnesota politics is undeniable, and his future on the national stage is full of possibilities.